So, let's keep going. It is now the next round. Everybody gets their cool down. 1, 2, and let me see. Yeah. Now we're going to do the pre-round assignments, 6, 5, and 5. Okay, so we are going to be facing. Okay, so let's check what we need to do. We have 1 scavenger, but we need 3. We have 2 items. How many do we need? Okay, actually now I know what went wrong. Where did I put my pen? We've got 1 mental patient and we've got 1 memory shrine. So we need 2 more mental patients. We need two more memory tokens, and we found 2 items, so we need 1 more. And we need to find nurses. Now we will have to check the next time a nurse spawns. The problem is when you only play with 2, you never spawn a nurse. So we will have to spawn a couple of nurses as well. Otherwise we can't fulfill this. So we are going to be looking at combat. So let's see. This is a scavenger, and against a scavenger we get +1. So we could try the meat cleaver and the crowbar. The problem is we would have to move every time. So what we could do is we could, since we have a 6, we're going to add this to help us break through this locked door. We could say we're going to take 5 as an automatic success, literally against this guy. And then also again cancel a special event. So Granny's gonna start. She's going to get 6 automatic successes on her first action to remove this door. So that's her first action. She has now 3 movement, 1, 2, and then she's going to use her last action to try and get some items here. Then she has, in theory, 1 more move action. And her imagination is 7. So we roll 7 dice. And she gets 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So, she's going to get 2 items for this. And the first one we draw is the hockey mask. We can repair it like a weapon, and the Messiah's seal. Attached to a weapon, its attack becomes holy. Discard Messiah's seal when this weapon is destroyed. Okay, so we're going to attach this to the lobotomy spike. And it's small, so it doesn't really take up a full slot. And then we have the hockey mask. I have to check how armor actually works. It doesn't say. Okay, so what I will rule is that this armor can take, it says here 4, so she can assign 4 to it. So that's it. She can assign 4 damage to this one. So this one goes away. And it means we now have 4 items. So where's my... So where did I put my pencil? Oh, this is annoying. I used to have like so many pens and pencils lying about, and then I started to clean up. This one isn't working, is it? Oh, it is. Okay. So we've got 4 items, which is good. Okay, so she's done. Next up is Ellen. She's going to move 1. So that's 1 action, and she's going to attack this guy for her second action. And she gets 6 dice because she's going to use her crowbar. Oh no, we're actually going to take the meat cleaver, and we get 7 dice. 2, 4, 7. And haha, that is terrible. We only have 1 success. And we also, and the meat cleaver takes 1 damage as well. But at least he does take 1 damage. So we're going to do this again for our third action. And this time round we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough to kill this guy. So this means we're getting an additional cooldown. We also have one more scavenger down. So we've got one more. That's also one action, isn't it? And then we're going to use escape velocity to go 1, 2. And it means we also get +2 defense for this particular round, because this guy is going to get to us. And that's the end of our round. So let's do a movement step. No event this time. We ignore the blue star. Nothing happens. Everyone moves. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to spawn monsters as well. 2, 8. That's where the scavenger goes. 2, 8. And then the mental patient goes to 4, 6, which is down here. 4 and 6. Nine. 6 is down here. Okay, good. So now there's going to be an attack from the scavenger on Ripley. Okay, he attacks with 5 dice. 2, 5. And remember, she's got 3 armor this time round. And he rolls 2. He rolls a 5 and a 6. He hits on a 5 or 6. So now we need to check what precision means. Dice rolling a 6 in the attack roll, ignore the enemy's defense. Okay, so she takes 1 wound. Okay, that's okay. Okay, so she takes 1 wound. All right, so next round. First of all, we're going to do the prep, and we get a 2, a 5, and a 4. So let's check. We have 2 scavengers, we need 1 more. We've got 4 items, we've got enough. We've got 1 memory shrine, we've got 1 mental patient, and we've got 0 nurses. So we need 2 more mental patients and 1 memory and 2 nurses. So first of all, everyone recovers 1 cooldown. Now, there are 2 we really need to get in here because there is stuff we can find. And we also need to more memory shrines. So Granny could go and go 1, 2, 3, 1. So that would be 1, 2, 3, and then she goes. She would need 4, 5, 6, and then open this door. So we could give her 5 stealth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she's here. With 1 action, she goes here. She still has 2 movement actions left, and she hasn't even touched her action, so she could do this and then flip it. So we're going to give her, how much stealth does she actually need? 1, 2. So movement-wise, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we gave her this, then she has 3 more movement, 1, 2, 3. She has 2 actions, open this, so that wouldn't be enough. So if we give her 5 stealth, she gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if we gave her this, she would be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 movement, first action, 2 movement, 3 movement, second action. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So this goes in here. Then we're going to give her 4 successes for the opening of the door, because we don't know what's in the door. And then we're going to ignore a special event. So Granny goes first. She takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stealth moves. So this one is gone. Then she takes 1 more move with her wheelchair. She checks out this door, which has 5 successes. So she's going to spend 1 of her actions to finally remove this. And then she has 1, 2 movement left, and the last action she spends on this. So she's going to draw 1 of her memory cards. Grandma's memory. You can't spell healthcare without THC. Medical marijuana. Skill. 1 use only. Collect a cost 1 action. You or another character on your space roll 1 die for every lost wound. For every result with 3 or higher, recover 1 blood. Okay. So we've got 2 memories at this stage. And it goes away. And that is the end of Grandma's turn. Next up is Ellen with the meat cleaver. And she is going to roll 6 dice. No, actually she's going to use her crowbar and roll 6 dice. No, she's actually going to use her cleaver and roll 7 dice against the scavenger. And she can take, she does 1, 2, 3 points of damage. That's enough to kill it. However, she incurs another nick to her meat cleaver. But she also cools down her flame on. So that was her first action. Then she's going to move second action, third action, and then she's going to stand here and she's going to attack this guy. With the meat cleaver again. And she rolls, she does 1 damage, which gets absorbed because he has one defense, so that didn't work out. So first attack was this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. So that's it, that's her done, she can't do anything. So the meat cleaver takes 1 damage again. So what we're now going to do is we're going to use the flashbang which allows us to reduce the monsters on their space, on my space, and they all lose -1 to their attack, which is good because this one's going to be there, so they attack for less. Okay, good. So that's that movement. Aha. Okay, doesn't matter, green is ignored. This guy moves 1. So now everybody moves. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 1. We spawn 110 is a scavenger. 110. Then, and this time we're going to spawn a nurse because we have to kill them too. For 2, so that would be a mental patient. And then lastly the nurse, and she's going to come out at 1, 1. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So yeah. Oh. So, and here we are back. Next round, let's do the prep. 6, 4, 3. We need to get to that nurse to win. She's over here. She's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces away. Everyone cools down 1. In order to get there, we have to get rid of this guy to get to there. Now, we're going to add this one to the cooldown. We are going to add this to the stealth moves, and we're going to add this to the combat successes. So first of all, Ripley is going to have a cooldown on the flame on, so it's completely gone. Well, actually no, we're not going to do it this way. Let's just give this a think. Granny could move 1, 2, 3. Or she could actually go here and just try and kill this guy. And Ellen Ellen could then walk through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then use her, yeah. So we're going to use the cooldown for Ripley. And then Granny is going to move 1. And she's going to attack the scavenger with her spike. And she does 1 point of damage. And her spike takes a wound, as it were. And then she's going to do this again. And this time she rolls 1 more damage and 1 more wound to her spike, so she didn't kill this guy. So the spike's gone. Did she roll a 6? No, she didn't. So that's it. And then, well, she has 2 more. She's going to move here. Then Ellen is going to move 1. Oh no, Granny is going to use the additional successes that she has. So this one's gone. Scavenger. She's going to cool down her drive through, and then she's going to move 1, 2. Then Ellen is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 2 stealth moves left. Then she is going to use Flame On, and she has 7 dice. 5, 6, 7. Ranged attack. And she does 2 points of damage. Flame means we ignore the armor. So the nurse takes 2 points of damage. Then we're going to use our last stealth. We're going to move in here. We're going to attack her with our golf club. And we do, 1 point of damage, which does nothing because she has armor. Second action, 2 points, 3 points of damage, which means she takes 2 more wounds. Third action, 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. She is dead, which means we have killed 2 nurses. So this means we have fully finished this scenario. Now we played on mission or on difficulty level 0, which means that, or 1, which means that we only play this one scenario, but even that took us quite a long time. As you can see, even with only 2 characters, there's a lot of stuff to remember, there's a lot of stuff to do, and obviously we won, but we didn't win easily because this one's already at 10. So we were not able to move him back because we never managed to pass any of the mental memory strip tests, which would have moved him back. There was one, I think, where he would have moved back, but that didn't happen because we failed the test. And even so, although they are pretty strong and they've got plenty of weapons at this stage, killing these guys is quite difficult. And although Ellen gets an additional die for every single scavenger she has, so these are actually guys that are quite dangerous because they have 2 actions, so they move twice. They have precision, and they have 5 dice. So you know, even with that, she wasn't necessarily able to take them out whenever she encountered them on the first try. So I really think that you really need you either need 3 characters, as they suggest, and the fact that I was playing so badly and losing so badly every single time I played it and was really frustrated was totally due to my not reading carefully that it says you have to have 3 characters as a minimum. So I really like the way the solo mod for Lobotomy has been put together. To roll 3 dice to assign them really makes a huge difference. It also adds to the strategy because it is like if you had a 3rd character on the board, you know, that's how you would probably also use them and discuss how to move forward. So I think this is really well done. If you ask me now, you know, because that's what I often get, so where do I find all of this? I have no idea, and no, I cannot post the link to this because I got this mod like over a year ago. I found it on Board Game Geek. So if you want it, you have to go to Board Game Geek, check it out there, and then, you know, get it from there. But whoever made it, and I think it was a French guy, or French Canadian for that matter, really well done. I think this is the only video on YouTube where you can see this mod in operation, but it really works out very, very well. And it means you can play with 2 characters, which I think is already enough work and difficult enough to keep track of. And that's why I think it is a really, really good way of making this game a little bit less confusing. Or I don't want to say it's confusing because it isn't. It makes it a little less difficult to play when you're soloing it. Of course, if you play with 2 people, then each one can use 2 characters, and I think that makes perfect sense. And it's going to be probably very hilarious if you have somebody who plays like you do. I don't power play. I mean, yes, I do want to strategize, but I also want to kind of experience the story. So a lot of people, you know, just play because they want to win. Yes, I do want to win, which is why I was kind of like frustrated. But the mod definitely helps. But I also want to experience the story. And as far as the story goes, this idea of escaping from a mental hospital and the cards that they give you, like with regard to abilities, with regard to weapons and so on, they are just very, to me, they are very, very thematic. And I really think they did a brilliant job. As I said in the introduction, I'm very annoyed by the fact that they did not fulfill the Rest of the World Kickstarter, people have been, I mean, I bought this game 3 years ago at this stage, I want to say. And it was already in retail. But Australia and New Zealand still wasn't fulfilled this year. And that's really, really, really problematic, because before this goes retail, you have to ship the rest of the world. So I think they actually took the copies and sold them twice. And I really, really, really detest that kind of behavior, because it's absolutely unspeakable. That's why I will not buy any of the expansions, because I cannot support this kind of business behavior. But the game itself, and this is what really annoys me even more, the game itself is really good. I don't understand why they had to resort to this kind of shenanigans, but this game speaks for itself. It would have been easy to sell this, and I don't know why they had to do it the way they did it. So I hope you enjoyed this. As I said, this is the solo mod that you can find on Board Game Geek. Go and check it out. I can really recommend it. It makes solo play a lot more manageable. And that's also why I find it a lot more enjoyable. Because you can really just concentrate more on the strategizing, because you do have a lot more options that you don't have if you just play with two characters, and you don't want to go beyond 2 characters, simply because 3 is very difficult to manage, in my opinion. It's way too difficult, in my opinion, to manage. It's just too much going on. So I wish you a pleasant rest of the day.